Look, on this, if you want your pigs, the roots, see them little pigs, you pull them off. Give me your scissors. You take these scissors and you cut off that top growth joint.
Wait. Let her see it.
Right
there you
there.
go.
You take that off.
So here's another one.
Everywhere.
And you can see it. Cut it and I'll show them. Right here, this is your growth nodule.
And there's a little fig, see there?
See the little fig? So what's happening is the plant is trying to get bigger. And what we want to do, because it's the beginning of fall, is slow the plant growth down so that the figs that are present can go ahead and ripen up in time for us to enjoy fresh figs.
Now in South Louisiana, there's a good chance you got plenty of time for some of them to ripen. But they just keep on growing. It's best to stop the growth and let these ripen. That's the end of it.
And let me show you a trick that my 81-year-old father taught me. This is called chop and drop, okay? So when you cut the parts of your figs off, put it back around the basis of, you're moving the camera over, there we go. The base of your tree, so that the nutrients that this plant has already pulled out of the soil to create this new growth will now break back down and biodegrade and put the nutrients back where it is needed to the roots. Now, Dad, I have a question for you. Why would all these be falling off? Is that just natural or?
They dry.
They dry? Okay.
These figs take a tremendous amount of water.
Okay.
Especially in South Louisiana right now, with the sweat pouring out of you and foggy and no sun, 100 degrees. Always start on the furthest point, away from it, as far as you can get. Work back toward you. As it gets hotter and hotter, you're going shorter and shorter. And before you burn out the heat, you're finished. Start here. Time you get halfway, the sun's beating you, and you got further and further, and hotter. So you work smart, not harder.
All right, so that's tip from my dad for today. Let me point out to you guys, when I was working by myself last week, because he was on some antibiotics, you see what section I got done? Closest to the hay bale. You see where my dad put me to work today? Furthest from the hay bale. And we will actually get all this done. So iron is so important. So my dad has the easiest way to help you correct that nutrient deficiency. Go for it, Pops.
I use, look, anything with rust. Horseshoes, old tools, rusty nails.
Get this one.
Just soak it in water.
Yeah, so you get a bucket?
Yeah, a bucket of water and let it soak. Just throw them
that
in.
right there? That comfrey? Yeah, look at this, guys. So you literally, what he's saying is he wants you to do this.
That's right.
Oh, maybe not that.
Maybe not that.
And you just put water up to here.
And let it sit.
I did this when I first started gardening a year and a half ago, and I let it sit in a 5-gallon bucket, and within a day, the water was rusty red. And then you just pour that water around the root zone of your plants, and bam, no more deficiency.
Years ago, a friend of mine had a pear tree that was not bearing, a big tree. An old fella came by and said, the tree needs iron. He drove 3 or 4 rusty nails in the trunk of that tree. The next year, they were throwing pears in the garbage to get them out your yard. So rust is critical to a plant. Now, do not use galvanized. Galvanized is zinc. It's extremely toxic. Make sure it's black uncoated iron, or either a black uncoated nail. Otherwise, you could do more harm than good.
Right, then you're putting toxicity into your soil.
That's right.
Which will be absorbed into your plant.
That's right.